Hi, my name is Penny Fuimaono, and I'm a product photographer slash content creator for a beauty company. I also do a lot of freelance work and working with brands outside of the current state that I live in. The fashion scene isn't as prevalent out here, which is fine, and so I kind of took to beauty photography and product photography, and it's fun. It's very challenging. This space isn't for everybody, and I learned that diving headfirst once again into it, but I do think that it's been worthwhile. At least for me, it's helped me expand my portfolio and just kind of my skills as a photographer and as a creative in general. So.
You get a product, what's your first thing you do to start that process?
The first thing I do is mood board. So every brand is different. Doing it for myself on my own project, I still mood board, but if it's a collaboration or a hiring gig with a brand, then I need to walk them through my creative process, and it always starts with connecting the brand story with a little splice of my style. So what I like to do is I always start with the adjective, the emotion. So this is bold and eccentric, hip, youthful, minimal, classy, earthy, and organic. And then from there I build the visual directive, and visual directives are super important when it comes to not just presenting your shoot ideas, but also when it comes to collaborating with other members on your team or other departments if you work for a department. But if you're a freelancer, it's great for giving the brand the direction of the campaign or shoot that you're doing. So,
what's your favorite aspect of product photography?
It's challenging. It's challenging to try and humanize something that's not alive. So I think my favorite aspect is trying to bring out the emotion behind the product. I feel like sometimes products can be really stale and people can't connect with it. And so for me, I've shot people for a long time, and I started photography that way. And so product photography is trying to bring that same emotion, like I said, to a product that's not actually alive. This is a technique that I like to use. So you can get plastic, or you can get literally whatever is kind of, foggy, glassy. And I like to put it in front of my lens to kind of give me that, I don't know if it's 80s, 90s vibe, but what it'll do is it'll frost my lens and give me a more glowy, less harsh effect. So I like playing around with this as well. When it comes to product photography, you can't miss the element of the actual product. Packaging is cool, looking at it's cool, but it's another thing to actually catch the vibe. So this is what we're gonna do. That photographer, I actually enjoy really harsh lighting. A lot of people advise against it. I'm not really sure why. Harsh light to me is really beautiful. So when I'm looking at things that are reflective, I think it just adds more, texture to the a still photograph that's literally flat. To me, I'm trying to add as much dimension as possible. So I use Lightroom and Photoshop pretty avidly. I think I'm leaning a little bit more towards Photoshop these days. It kind of has everything all encompassed in one. My editing process is pretty simple. The stronger the raw image, the better, at least for me, and my style and how I can inflict my personal style onto a brand or a product, is that's how I usually try to do it. And so based off of the mood board and the collaboration and the talks in between, that's what really affects the editing process. Whether people like things a little bit more moody, if they like it light and bright, all of that good stuff. I usually go through that before I edit. So, but for these, because they're my personal, I really like supernatural stuff. So I really like light, I like shadow, I like dimensions. So when I use contrast, I try to use it in a way that's the most effective to bring forward the product. And this is all trial and error. I literally taught myself this. I used to edit on the most crap software, and so for me, this is why my method, I prefer this, and I build my own presets versus buying presets. Also, when it comes to skin tone, if there's a preset that's trending, it doesn't work for everybody. Everyone has different skin tones, and as a person of color myself, myself. People have reds, pinks, oranges, yellows, they pick up differently, and so, you know, I wouldn't say one preset fits all. So if you do buy presets, just be cautious because they don't always work.